Everyone was warned, but the politicians, they never listened. It began in China, the wet markets and the consumption of animals. They called it an outbreak, but no one knew what an outbreak was. In the year of 2019, mutation, infection and death unleashed a wave of fear on the planet. In 2020, we didn't just see communities, towns and cities and countries fall to the infection. The infection took hold of Europe, firstly Italy and then Spain, and then the rest of the world. Killing thousands in any one day, we saw lockdowns and needed sanctions on our freedoms. But in that moment, facing our own mortality, it became clear that not one nation alone could solve this problem. Countries came together as one. Scientists from many countries worked together, led by Oxford University, not as representatives of their own nations, but for humanity. Right now they're working on vaccines that should combat the infection, and where we are headed now is unknown. But the future is starting to look a lot brighter. Hi everyone, you're listening to the Greg Andrew Experience, and I'm Greg Andrew. You will have noticed that the opening to this episode was very dramatic, with the music, the tone of my voice and the words that I was using. This is very much what we are going through right now in terms of the manipulation and the control from the mainstream media news outlets and the newspapers and so forth. Social media, another one. Do you know what? It doesn't matter what time of day you switch your television on, there will be somebody talking about coronavirus. If you switch the news on, it will be very dramatic and they will be talking to the camera directly, and they will have that sense of drama in their voice. When you open up the newspaper, you'll have big bold headlines. This is all designed to mitigate the fear amongst us. It's to control us and it's to keep us in line with the narrative. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that what we're going through right now isn't real, because it very much is. It's as real as it gets. But I want you to know that no matter what you see on the news, no matter what you read on social media or in the newspapers, there's a lot more positivity to this than we're being told, and we can find this positivity just by looking around and opening our eyes and seeing the people that we're sharing the house with. It's all there for us. All this positivity, it's there. The news won't tell you the news won't tell you that there is a 96 to 98% survival rate. It will just give you the dark, stark figures every day for as long as this pandemic is with us. And I'm going to speak a little bit more in depth about the pandemic, us and spirit. So, how is the pandemic affecting us and the world? Firstly, what we have to understand is that it is very real. What's going on right now, we have no choice but to look at it, deal with it, and learn to live our lives with it, which we all do seem to be doing quite well. Most of us are staying home. Those of us that are lucky enough are able to stay home. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that have to go to work, and I wish that was different, but you know, it's just the way things are at the moment. The pandemic has created a sense of fear amongst us, and this has been mostly brought about by mass media, the manipulation, the control and fear. And the only way we can keep people controlled is to set fear, is to create a narrative of fear, doom and gloom. This isn't the actual case though. A lot of people are fearful, obviously, but what people aren't doing right now is looking around. Those of us that are lucky enough to be locked down and staying at home, just look around and see what you've got. You've got family members that you probably mostly only ever talk to on social media, but you're actually finding yourselves talking to them now. You're doing more cooking, you're doing more exercise, your lifestyle is changing. There's a lot more relaxation going on. The relaxation is key to what I'm about to be talking about shortly, because the relaxation has opened up a whole new world for a lot of people. Well, I for one, I'm a little bit of an astronomer, and when I look up at the night sky, I used to see the stars, but not like I'm seeing them now. It's crystal clear. People in countries all over the world are looking into the horizon now and seeing things in that horizon that they've never seen before. There's a younger generation out there that are actually looking into the horizon right now and seeing the mountains. I think it's the Himalayas, I think it's in that region. A lot of people have never seen them Himalayas before, and now they're seeing them every single day because the atmosphere is clear. The earth isn't as choked up, the rivers are flowing smoothly and cleanly, the oceans are healing themselves, the coral reefs are redeveloping themselves. There's no CO2 gases, the ozone has healed itself. These are the positives. This is what Mother Nature wants, and Mother Nature has very much let us know that we're not needed with our stupid ideas on cutting carbon gases and all that kind of crap, because we're never going to do that. That's always going to be an issue, because we are a people, we are a civilization that relies heavily on driving, and right now the pandemic, it's pretty much stopped all of that. So these are the positives, these are the good things that this pandemic is doing. And if you're staying home and you're staying safe, you're going to be alright. If you're going to the shops and you're practicing social distancing, you're going to be alright. It's recommended that we stand 2 meters apart from somebody in front of us. I always give it an extra couple of meters as well. I don't get close to anyone when I go to the shops. So I for one, I'm personally looking forward to this pandemic being over and going into the woods and going into the forest and going to the seaside again. It's going to be a whole new experience. So just pull these positives out of the pandemic, and if you're feeling yourself feeling anxious because of the news, because of the press, because of social media, just stop following the people that are scaring you on social media. Stop watching the news and stop buying newspapers. Newspapers are designed to control the masses anyway. I always listen to the press conferences. I try and listen to as many of them as I can, only because it just gives us the update that we need. As soon as they start talking about other stuff, I switch it off, but I just need to know where we stand right now. And the pandemic has taught me that I do need to be responsible for my actions. So I don't go out jogging and coughing and spluttering and all over people as I'm jogging past them. I don't sit there touching fence posts for somebody else to come along and touch. As much as I would like to, I mean, there are people out there that don't believe this is real. Whether it's real or not, it's what we have to deal with, and we need to kind of act now and ask questions later, because I think that there are a lot of questions that are unanswered right now. But right now we've just got to deal with it, and we've just got to go with it, and we've just got to do the best for each other. And the best thing we can do for each other is to stay home, enjoy the relaxation, enjoy the family, enjoy the pets. Look at webcams. There's webcams out there that you can look at from national parks and from oceans and from seasides, and go and have a look at them and just look at how clean everything is looking right now. Spend some time in the evenings just looking up at the sky, because you're never going to see it as clear as you're seeing it now. The moment we get back to normal is the moment that the skies do tend to they fade out a little bit, because there's a layer of, or there's like an atmosphere of smog. So that was my take on the pandemic. I'm not a scientist. I've never claimed to know it all, but that's just my take on it, and that's my take on what's happening right now. And in this next piece, I'm going to be talking about us as a collective, us as a global collective, because what I'm going to be talking about is based on the messages that I'm receiving from people and the comments that crop up on my lives. What's going on with us right now? Well, as I mentioned in the last segment, just look around and just look around your house and just see what's happened. Notice how much you are talking to your family again. We used to talk to family via social media because we'd all be in different rooms, we'd all be on our devices. We'd all be watching a different television screen, whether it be Netflix or whatever. We didn't really read a lot. Well, I didn't. I do read, but not as much as I am now. But I've also noticed that we're talking now. Everybody's talking in the house. We're spending time talking to loved ones via FaceTime or Messenger. We're connecting again. We're reconnecting with each other. The human experience is all about the collective. It's all about what we can do for each other. And right now we are doing so much for each other, for neighbours, for friends, for family. A lot of us would probably only call our loved ones a couple of times a week, but it's every day now. There's just so much more in place than there was before because we've got time. A lot of you are using this time to kind of meditate, but you're doing it unwittingly. You know, when you're kind of sat there and you're just staring vacantly at the wall for half an hour and you don't know where that half an hour's gone and you don't really know where you've been either. But whether you know it or not, you've been in meditation. You've kind of been on a little journey. You may have been thinking about loved ones that are no longer here. You may have found yourself just kind of going with your thoughts and letting your thoughts take you to places that you'd like to visit one day. Could be a whole number of things. This is key to what else is going on around us right now. And what is going on around us, from my perspective and from the messages I've been receiving, is a lot more spirit activity. Things are moving themselves around the house. You're putting something down on the worktop. You'll go back 5 minutes later and it's not there, and it'll turn up somewhere else. We're also experiencing visualizations, well, some of you are anyway. I've had loads of messages about this as well. You're seeing members of your family that have crossed over a long time ago, but all of a sudden you're starting to see them in the house again. Whether this is in a pure visualization or a quick flash in the corner of your eye, they're around, and they are around because you are spending more time in that meditational state, and you're experiencing this because you are spending more time in that meditational state of just zoning out and staring at the wall for half an hour. And we're also experiencing very lucid and vivid dreams as well, and this is because we are doing that relaxation. And when we're in this meditational state, it does kind of encourage spirit to come closer. So us as a whole right now are very much more connected to the world of spirit than we ever have been in the history of the human race, and it's an amazing thing to be happening. This pandemic is bringing out the best in us. Concentrate on what is going on around you right now. The talking with the family, I keep talking about it, but we are communicating more with the family. But we are also experiencing the most spiritual phenomenon that this human species has ever experienced. And that's another positive from this pandemic. So I've spoken about the pandemic, and I've spoken about us, and now this is the best bit for me, because this is the one that I've been dying to talk about, and this is the world of spirit and the connections that we're having right now. And mostly, and this is the number one subject that people message me about, I'm having the most vivid and lucid dreams of my loved ones, whether it be mum, whether it be son, whether it be dad, whether it be auntie. You're all experiencing the most real dreams you've ever experienced, and it's not because they've pumped something into the atmosphere or it's 5G or anything like that. This is because we're relaxing. We're in lockdown. We're now kind of touching base with ourselves. We're getting to know ourselves. We're finding that time to zone out. When we zone out, that is the invitation that spirit world love. That's the moment we're zoned out and we're kind of in meditation. It's like an invitation. It's like a party invitation. They'll come flooding in. You will have noticed the activity in the house as well, whether this be something mysteriously moving from one spot to another, whether you're smelling loved ones nearby, or whether you're dreaming and loved ones are making a visit. Everything is a lot more lucid and a lot more vivid right now because of where we're at. The world of spirit, all the world of spirit wants to do, any medium will tell you the same, all the world of spirit wants to do right now is to be able to communicate with you. and now they can. The bridge between us and the world of spirit is now a lot shorter because of this lockdown, because of the pandemic. Mother Nature is not only healing the earth, but she's also healing us as well. And a lot of you will probably think, oh my God, really? Well, you need to think about this. Yeah, really, because when have you ever experienced what you're experiencing right now from the world of spirit? When have you ever had dreams of your loved ones like you're having now? And these dreams are proper, actual visitation from the world of spirit. These dreams that feel so real to you, that are so lucid, what you need to do is write it down, because there are hidden messages and there's a pattern. And if you can write stuff down and then you can go back over it and read it, you will notice things in there, and you will see the message in there, and you will see that there is a pattern to the dreams. But what you need to do is to understand that right now the world of spirit, they're not coming in because the planet is in absolute turmoil. They're coming in to let you know that they're around and they've got your back. They're coming to see you to let you know that you're going to be alright. Just keep yourself safe. Stay at home and just carry on doing what you're doing whilst you can, because we're never ever going to experience this again. Because when things get back to normal, the world of spirit is going to be back to its old self, trying as hard as possible to let you know that they're around. But you're going to be too busy to see it. You're going to be too busy to feel it. You're going to be too busy to sense it. When we get back to a new normal, all the world of spirit wants you to do is to keep this going. Okay, and all they want you to do is just to relax. We need to find more time to be able to relax. The message from spirit is we're going to be alright. Okay, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. What's going on in your world is significant. What's going on in your world is key. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. What matters is what's going on in your world right now. And right now, the world of spirit is very much around you. You know you can feel it, you know you can see it, and you know you can sense it. Keep at it. When this pandemic is over, even if you want to keep hold of what we've got now, most of you are going to forget about it, and you're going to be too tired because you're going back to work. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be rush. There's going to be no time for you to sit down and kind of just meditate and keep this thing with spirit going. This is what they want you to do. They want you to go to work, but they want you to go to work on yourself. They want you to find the time to keep them in your world. They're not looking forward to us going back to normal. I don't think we'll be going back to the kind of normal that we had prior to the pandemic. But we are going to get busy. We are going to go back to normal. And a lot of you are just going to have no time. And the world of spirit, all it wants to do is just for you to keep that. Even if it's just 1 hour a day, they want you just to kind of keep this connection going. Because it's important to us. It's who we are anyway. We are a connected species. We are a very intellectual species. And the connection that we deserve is right here, right now. So that brings this episode to an end, and I hope that you found some kind of comfort in the stuff that I've spoken about. Just be mindful that spirit are around, they have got your back, and they are looking out for you. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay safe.